He knew it was coming, that body check. Stanley, you could just see him coming. He wanted to get out of the way, set himself for it, but Stanley, who's so big and strong, he still rattled him into the boards. All inside the zone there. You can see it all scrummage in there. Here's where the slash comes. Right there. Bang. Right over the shoulder of Brian Propp. It broke his stick on Propp's shoulder. And Anderson will pick up the slashing call. You see it better from this angle. There it is. Right there. Right on the arm.
Guy Chouinard and Crossman, good defensive play. Loose, he's tied up. Into the corner it goes. And now in front of the net, Daryl Stanley.
Oh, Jack Carlson. Boy, you got two heavyweights right there. We've heard the youngster can really go, and Carlson is one of the better ones in the league as well. And they're just standing toe-to-toe, throwing him. Carlson, the left-hander. It looks like both of them are getting an awful lot of punches in. Carlson and Stanley exchanging them really good. Now Stanley's coming back. Well, I'll tell you, you have to take a look at it. I'd say it was a pretty good fight, Eddie. Almost a draw as those two big guys were going at it. But boy, I'd love to see this whole thing again, to see where it started in front of the net. As you see two big guys down on the ice right now with the linesman getting in between them. Dave Stanley didn't hesitate. The youngster's up for his first game this year with the Flyers. When the problem started, he didn't back away. He just stepped right in there. And as you mentioned, Bobby, those guys were throwing haymakers. They're bringing them out from left field, from right field. And a few of them were landing right on the money as both players are sent to their respective dressing rooms. 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second period. And a chance to look at Stanley walking up the runway, heading towards the Flyers' locker room. Boy, that's old-time hockey, old-time action. You see there, then they started. Now you can see Carlson, a left-hander, throwing it left-handed to right, couldn't get it switched. Stanley got some good ones in early, as you see there. Then Carlson came back and hit Stanley pretty good with some shots as well. Both these guys can, they know what they're doing out there. Once they throw it, they duck their head, and the shot goes over top, and the odd time, that shot comes straight through and lands. It's just got to bring tears to your eyes when you get hit with something like that. Excellent. Tussle. I would have to say that both of them got a lot of good shots in. Carlson got a little stronger in the end, though.
And Holmgren went in there, too, so he vacated the corner. Blues able to pick it up when Anderson takes a hit from Holmgren, who's had a very strong shift. And now Eriksson eludes Terry Anderson. He went spinning around, and Gilmore, as Clark pokes it away, but the Blues guilty of an offside. No, here's Pettersson. He cuts in. He shoots, and it's a save by Froze.
Bobby Clark is guilty of turning the puck over just inside his own zone. Pettersson walked in all alone, and Bobby Froze made the save. As we see all the players milling around with the linesman in between them. They're all pushing and shoving at one another as the linesmen are separating the two teams. In the St. Louis side of the penalty box. Again, here it is. They meet at the blue line. There comes that stick up. Swing back with it. That'll come back at him again. Both sticks are up, and this is exactly the altercation that gave both players 2-minute minors.
Still in there. Pulling with a very low center of gravity. Tough to knock off the puck as Cochran swings at Patey right in front of Owen.
Cochran and Patey were waging a war in that last shift. They both were getting tied up. Patey had a hold of Cochran. Cochran swung at him.
Now Ron Sutter with Brother Rich in front of the net. Ron Sutter, is he creamed by Dwight Schofield. Really ramming Ron into the board.
Flyers. Blues on this there. There's Dwight Schofield taking Ronnie Sutter very heavily into the boards behind the goaltender. That's called finishing your check.
St. Louis looking very tired in this third period. And a heavy check thrown by Propp in the corner. Stolen by McCrimmon. Rich Sutter takes a bump from Brother Brian. Flyers dump it into the blue zone. The Rockers played a fairly strong game. Fans on it right there. And now we got a tussle from behind the play. And boy, Ron Sutter and Dwight Schofield really going at it. We've had a couple of toe-to-toe battles, and Ron Sutter really plugging away on Schofield now. Happened behind the play. Could have been a high stick that precipitated the brawl. When you follow the puck sometimes, these brawls happen so innocently. Happened behind the play. You see Ron Sutter right there, precipitated right there by Schofield. He took a shot at Ron Sutter, or Rich Sutter right there. Now Rich may get a third man in right there. Both Sutter brothers going in. But Iran was the main combatant. The original blow is against, it looked like, Rich. Comes at 18:27 as we get our second toe-to-toe battle. Daryl Stanley and Jack Carlson in the first period, and then Iran Sutter getting the advantage. Flyers out shooting St. Louis 28-25 overall. In the third period, the Flyers out shooting St. Louis 12-7.